Hi and welcome to another edition of Onside, where Budge and I are going to work our way through the fixtures that are coming up this weekend. We'll give you the news that's transpired, especially with international news over the last weekend, but we're back into it. The South African PSL, of course, the English Premier League's back in full flight this coming weekend. Budge, interesting news over the weekend. Internationals are always tough, and international friendlies don't tell us too much.
Terrible, Paul. I don't actually watch them.
Yeah.
You know, false guard. Not for me, yeah.
I heard somewhere that Bafana hadn't lost in their last 17 or
Lost 17 now, yeah.
Is that true?
Yep.
Who have they been playing? They're B team?
No, you know,
they're getting better.
They are getting better. You know, I think Toes have got in. They've got it at the ground roots level, trying to grow it, and it's slowly coming through.
They brought a couple. I was listening to, is it Kieran Dolly? Or
yeah, Keegan Dolly.
Keegan Dolly talking, and he said he's very pleased. All squad are pleased. They brought in those young guys for the game in Durban, and they played well.
Yeah, they're okay, Paul. Obviously, the big game's in August, the next World Cup qualifier.
Yeah.
But, on the right
August?
way. Yep.
She would have had 2 coaches by then. Okay, let's get on to international news. And poor old Seamus Coleman, he's a very good player. The Irishman for Everton at right back.
Tragic.
He broke his leg in 2 places, the big box and the goalmouth. Shame. Tibula and fibula both shattered. What are they looking at, 6 months?
Yeah, so he started the next season.
It was Neil Taylor, accident, Swansea tackle.
Paul, it was one of those reaction type tackles, you know, the ball bounces and he flew in. Didn't mean it, obviously, but just terrible outcome, yeah.
You got to be, you know, people got to be controlled. This is a guy's career. You can't fly in if you're thinking of the world flying. And when you're in the world, the accolades don't last long.
Yeah.
You've got to know that this type of thing is no good for football.
20 odd minutes to go, heated, 0-0. Everyone, getting a bit tense.
Yeah.
And now everyone sits down. What are we doing? Yeah.
Let's go international, Budge. Lionel Messi had a go at an official. What was the story there?
Well, they beat Chile 1-0. Now, the ironical thing about it, that the refereeing team and the assistant linesman, they were all Brazilian. So you don't know if there's ulterior motives, but there were words afterwards. And the referee never picked it up, but some audio system picked it up. So that's how we got done,
But 4 matches.
Yeah, a bit harsh,
A bit harsh. You know, have you had a look at the record of Argentina with
Well, I watched that game. It was on at 10 o'clock the other night, Bolivia. And they had a bet. I thought there'd be plenty of goals. But, geez, they never turned up Argentina. Other than Di Maria, they were non-existent.
So, Budge, they're looking like they're troubled. So now it puts them in 5th. I know Brazil have qualified.
Yeah, Brazil. They look a good team. And they still got their main striker up front to come, you know. Gabriel Jesus, the Man City guy.
Yeah, so they're looking good. And they'll qualify Argentina?
Well, the thing is, even if they don't run top 4 automatic, the fifth team is in a playoff with a team from Oceania, which will be New Zealand. And if Argentina can't beat New Zealand home and away, they shouldn't be allowed to qualify.
What happens if you win the Oceania group? Is it going to playoff?
Yeah.
That's madness.
Well, that's why they want to extend the World Cup to 32 teams.
Yeah, you got to.
You got to give the smaller nations a chance.
If you win the Australasian section, or the Oceania, what they call it, you got to.
Well, that was why Australia bailed a few years ago. They now play in the Asian Conference, where more teams qualify.
Yeah, well, that should be the same for New Zealand.
Yeah, it's just not fair.
Not fair. Okay, so Brazil, first team to qualify. They've gone through. 2 Liverpool boys started. Yeah,
they started. Coutinho, good goal. Can't believe he used his left foot. Come off the right wing, played a 1-2 from Paulinho, I think the ex-Spurs boy.
Yeah.
Bent in the corner.
Paulinho's still playing for his country.
He scored a hat-trick the other day.
Gee.
Playing well.
Playing well. He must be at Spurs. He never ran back. He never got back and covered. And they said, we got to go. Just talking about Spurs, Lamela's going for a hip-hop this week.
Well, he's been missing the whole year. But shame, you know.
Tough
you don't
time.
want to...
Tough time for him. Okay, let's look at... your man, Bastian, great name. If I want a surname change, I want to be called Paul Schweinsteiger.
Yeah.
It's a great name. It sounds insulting. Been a great player in his day, and now he's joined Chicago Fire as a fireman.
Fireman.
He's working on a fire truck. But look at the figures. Yeah. It's amazing what he's earning from a guy who's not playing.
You know, the deal that they did, Guardiola told Man United, listen, this guy's injured when he's signing him. I think we paid £4 or £5 million for him. He's on £180,000 a week for somebody that's, he's injury prone.
The South African Lotto every Friday.
Oh, no,
and now he's gone to Chicago Fire for 70.
Well, United gave him away. They just had to offload him off the books, which is a shame because he's been a great servant.
Does he still play internationally?
No.
Who's the guy who played in his last game? Was it Podolski?
It was Podolski.
Podolski, okay. Yeah. So, that's the international news. Local news, we've just touched on it, we've got the Guinea-Bissau. What's the story with the coach now? We've still got Vasco da Gama's
Shakes,
grandson,
yeah,
Owen da
well,
Gama.
Shakes is looking for 4.1 million rand as a settlement. So obviously they told him where to go. You know, there's talk about Carlos Queiroz becoming the next...
But there's talk of some other players. I was
there's
listening to.
Kroll. There's a lot of mentions, you know.
A lot of mentions.
Yeah. Depends once the qualifiers.
One of the big boys who used to take Man City, his name came up.
There's a few of them, but,
Yeah.
you know...
But what's happened to Hunt?
Well, his team got
Is he
knocked
in the
out
hunt?
of the... hopefully he is. But, you know, I think a bit of a stain on the copybook. His team, Wits, got knocked out of the CAF Champions League by Al Ahly the other week.
Yeah.
You know, I watched the game. Shame, but just couldn't score. But Al Ahly, well organised.
Good team.
But, you know, it was a shame for him. Obviously, he wanted to have a good run in that. So,
Yeah.
but I'd like to see him get it, Paul. You know, it's a young team. Let's grow.
He's a very good coach. He's done it year in and year out. Someone said to me, Roger De Soa could be in the running.
No chance.
He's resigned from where?
Maritzburg.
Yeah. Okay, let's go and talk about the South African League, Budge. We've got some games coming up, and it looks very interesting. First up, Golden Arrows, playing against Highlands Park. Highlands Park found a little bit of form. Yeah,
Gordon's team, they've won the last two. They've stopped conceding goals, which obviously is a big bonus.
That's his strength. Yeah, he gets them to defend first.
Yeah, this game's got a draw written all over it. You know, Arrows at home, Princess Magogo, won't be easy to beat them. But Gordon's team have come right.
Okay, so you're going for the draw there.
Yeah.
Supersport United versus Baraka. Baraka on a downward slope.
Baraka can't win a game, Paul.
Yeah.
You know, Supersport haven't
I watched
lost.
them play once, but they weren't that bad.
No, I know. But you've got to fancy Supersport.
Yeah, I got to fancy Supersport. Okay, Bidvest Wits against Platinum Stars.
Yeah,
Second
that won't be
place
easy. Platinum have come right. But, you know, Wits getting stuck out the CAF Championship by Al Ahly.
Will that strengthen their results?
Well, it should do.
Yeah.
You know, that's all they've got to play for.
Yeah.
So
then how about Free State Stars, Orlando Pirates?
Well, Pirates haven't won in 11. I know they've drawn too many games.
Have not won a game in 11?
Nope. They've drawn 7 of them.
The Buccaneers.
So the Buccaneers are under pressure. Free State Stars are one of those Jekyll and Hyde teams. They just struggle to score goals. But if ever there's a chance, I know they're playing in Orkney, won't be easy, but this could be the chance for Pirates, you know.
Orkney, Snorkney, okay. Yeah. And then we go on to Kaiser Chiefs. They're playing Sundown. This would be
big
full
game
house.
of the weekend.
Full house, but where are they playing?
FNB, FNB Stadium.
FNB Stadium, and now they're unbeaten in their last 9 league games. Kaiser Chiefs.
Yeah.
That's good.
They're going well. They've drawn too many to be a contender.
They got fined the other day for coming out late.
Yeah.
What did you like talking, Steve?
Who knows? You never know. But
you know they've got TV rights, and the other team were out on the field, and they're minutes or two late.
Well, that's how it's got to be, Paul.
I agree with you. I agree. Get them out there, Stevie. Get them on the field. Let them produce the goods. Mamelodi Sundowns still a very good team.
Of the two teams, I like them. Yeah,
17 to 10.
CAF Champions League. They won the Super Cup. They're a big-time team, Paul.
They've only lost one of their last 10.
Yeah, that was Cape Town City beat them, Good game.
That's right. So Mamelodi Sundowns.
Tight game, but of the two
great
teams,
game
I
to
like
watch.
Sundowns.
Great game. It'll go end to end. Now, Maritzburg United, are they rudderless at the moment?
Well, the assistant coach, he was with Clive. After Clive left, he took over. He's done a good job there. A few of the guys thought he would get the job.
Yeah.
But they just can't keep a clean sheet. Yeah. They concede in all the games. They've got a good record at home against Cape Town City. Against Ajax. But I think it draws another player here, Paul.
Okay. No wins, last 6 games.
Yeah, but they've drawn 4. They've drawn the last 4.
Polokwane City, Bloem Celtic. 6th plays 16, I think, or 14.
Now, this will be a bitter game. Now, the manager, Luke Email, how do you pronounce it?
Email.
Resigned from Polokwane to go to Bloemfontein Celtic.
Oh.
Now, Bloemfontein Celtic refused to pay a cent for him. They are saying that Luke Email must negotiate, his package or whatever he is to leave Polokwane. Polokwane want 2 million for him.
So what happens?
So he's training Bloemfontein Celtic, but he can't sit on the bench.
The mind wonders what's going on in football.
But can you blame?
Don't you sign contracts?
Well, that's the problem. He has signed it, and I don't know.
If he signed it, he's gone.
Yeah. Well, he has.
Bloem Celtic cough up.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go Cape Town City. League leaders.
Yeah, going well. They've played a couple of games extra.
That's Tinkler.
But Eric Tinkler, at home they should be too good. Chipper are one of those funny teams that keep the ball, which I think, but Cape Town City on the counter-attack, they've got greyhounds up front.
Which team, this is a hell of a question to spring on you, which team would provide the most Bafana players? So Mamelodi?
Chiefs and Mamelodi,
Yeah, okay, so that's where they come from. Oh, right. Let's have a look at what else we got. So Budge, at this stage, that's where we are. Now we go on to, we're restarting the English Premier League. There's some fantastic games, and it kicks off early with a derby.
Yep, Liverpool derby, yep.
Liverpool, Everton. Everton are doing fantastically well until they ran into the beloved Spurs.
Yeah.
But they're a very good side. Now, this match means a lot to them. It means a lot to every Scouser.
Yeah.
But Liverpool are good at home.
Yeah, well, we've seen the last 22, they've only lost one. That was to Swansea. You know,
That's
I just
very good,
worry, you know, the second best player for me this year has been Adam Lallana. He's out for a month.
What happened to him?
No, I think he's done his groin.
He's a very good player.
He's been one of their key players. So I worry about Liverpool. But, you know, Everton just don't seem to beat them. The last time they beat them at Anfield was 1999.
Wow.
So they've got the
sign. That's fantastically long. Sure.
But this, I think, is one of their better chances. You know, Koeman's no mug. Obviously, losing Seamus Coleman's a blow.
Big blow. Good right back.
But Liverpool at the back are dodgy, and Everton aren't going to sit back. So Lukaku gets in amongst those two.
He's leading the Golden Boot.
Yeah, he is. You're right.
So that looks like a game. Pop your feet up in front of the telly.
Oh, no, 1:30. I'll be watching that.
Yeah, me too. Sure. Good game, because as you know, Liverpool have got a following right
Grand
around the
Prix
world.
for first to last, yeah.
Yeah, it'll be go. Okay, then the next game sees Burnley at home. We've got a very good record against half-line Spurs.
Yeah.
This looks a very good game. I think it's a tricky game for Spurs.
Yeah, a tough game for Spurs.
Spurs have got the quality. They've got to get ahead. But Burnley don't throw in the towel at home.
Yeah, well,
they're a better side.
The only team they haven't beat the last 6 was Chelsea. It was 1-1. And they were a sure better team at stages, Burnley. My only concern with Spurs is away from home. They don't seem to roll the sleeves up and have a go.
But if you dissect it, they do.
I know, but I watched them against Genk, and the guys got into them, and they have players.
But that was at Wembley.
No, that was a game in Belgium, away from home.
Yeah, sorry.
I know they should have won at home.
They didn't play well in there, but in their league games, the only teams they've struggled with have been the top 5 teams away from home, not at home.
No, home's the best
this is
home
away
record,
from home. But the smaller teams away from home, we've rolled them, Budge. But I wouldn't say
this is a
pushover.
Paul, obviously the betting gives it away, but this is going to be. The Ericssons and them you'll test out whoever they are.
Raise the game. They'll play song.
Yeah.
Yeah,
you know, Spurs' first 11, I believe, is as good as any team in the league.
Yeah, they really play well. They play quick, fast, attacking football, and they're strong at the back.
But the other thing, it just depends on the weather at Burnley. Yeah, because that's open stadium, the wind howls. Okay. It won't be a pleasant game.
Their supporters will be howling too. Okay, Chelsea, Crystal Palace. London derby, too strong, Chelsea at home.
Should be. It just depends. There's rumours Hazard never played for Belgium. You know, Diego Costa reported injury. So if those two are out, trouble.
It becomes a tougher.
Spurs boys.
They have got speed, Crystal Palace.
Yeah.
And they've come a little bit better lately.
Well, our boy onside Benteke, you know, he's come right. You know, they have players.
Yeah.
You know, Sacco at the back, he's tightened them up, and they won the last 3 league games, Palace.
So
it won't be easy. You know,
pushed them up to 16th.
Yeah,
Big Sam is a bit of a Houdini to get insides out of the hot water. But you've
got to fancy Chelsea. Should have too much class.
Our man was overseas. He went to Alonso. You know, he's horse racing mad. You know, his uncle was the trainer's name for Harry's son when we were over there, when Roy was over there. And he went out to the Dubai World Cup and got hold of Mark Aboud.
Okay.
And he sent me a photo and he said, all the best, you know, Laf, how's it going? You know, hope things are right. Pity about it. All he wanted to talk about was Harry's son.
Yeah,
didn't want to talk about football or Chelsea, but he seems to be a racy man through and through, our man Alonso. So it was good to see him out there. And I see one of the prizes, Aaron Lennon gave it out.
Oh, okay.
So it must be a break for a few of them. They get out there to watch the Dubai World Cup. Okay, Hull City. Now, suddenly Hull have tightened up at home, Budge.
Yeah. You know, it's just the away form that's killed them. But this is the game they've got to win. I think there'll be plenty of goals. The trick about this whole game is Robert Snodgrass, who was their best player, they sold him to West Ham.
Yeah.
So you can expect...
he is, you know, on the Golden Boot log, he's the highest Scotsman.
Yeah.
The highest Scotsman. Probably the only Scotsman in the top 20. So
I think there's goals in here, Paul. Yeah, they've got to go for it home.
I don't know, West Ham, you watch in 1 week.
In and out.
In and out, that's accurate. You know, they lost 3-2 to Leicester, but they have many chances to wrap it up. great goalkeeping and whatever. So I don't know what team's going to turn up, but Hull City got to be tight.
Yeah, that's the problem. Can they contain Andy Carroll? And I don't think they will.
Yeah. Okay, Leicester City, Stoke City. This will be rollerball.
You're right, this will be rollerball.
This will be go. Now, to be or not to be, Mr. Shakespeare has done a great job.
No, he has.
Well, the players
have turned up.
Yeah, the players have turned
But
up.
this is a wrong team to play against. Mark Hughes has got a lot of thugs in that team, and they won't be lying back for Vardy and co.
Yeah. But the Thugs must have a look at their last 7 away games.
No, away from home they struggled.
They struggled,
no doubt. But
lost 1-1,
Arnautovic
drew
and
1.
Shaqiri, he's back now. Shaqiri,
He can play.
You
See
know,
the
Crouch up
guy
front,
from Switzerland. He can play. He's a short little guy.
Yeah,
he can play. Okay, so that should be a good game.
Should be a good game.
Goals.
Right. Yep.
Strikers are back.
Definitely.
Goals. That's a goals game. That. All right. Now we come to the second half, Budge. Man United, who are a good team, play West Brom, whose away record isn't good.
No, they're not dodgy. And one of our better performances this year, we beat them 2-0 at West Brom at the Hawthorns. We just got plenty of injuries. Latan's missing. I'm not a lover of Herrera, but he is a positive. Yeah, there's talk Smalling and Jones got injured playing for England. So we're struggling, But, if we can't win at home. But in saying that, Paul, we've drawn more games at Old Trafford than we've won.
West Brom beat Arsenal. So they're
but
a bit
three
of a
corners. So you know where the threat's
corners.
coming.
Yeah.
But away from home on the big pitch, I just hope he plays Rashford, Marshall. Play the youngsters. Let's get into them. Let's have a go.
Yeah. Okay, I still think Man United will be too good for West Brom. Watford, Sunderland. Now, is this do or die for Sunderland,
No
Budge?
doubt.
What's your take here?
Has to. I think the 7 points from safety. Yeah, the thing about Watford is they don't keep clean sheets. And you give Jermaine Defoe 2 or 3 chances, this is danger.
Troy Deeney. Every week
I think there's
talk
plenty
about
of goals in this game, Paul. Any result wouldn't surprise me here. But of the two teams, you've got to fancy Watford. But
home.
Sunderland, this is their game, Paul. They'll be rolling their sleeves up.
Watford's last 6 home games are 1-1.
Yeah, and the game they beat Burnley when the guy got sent off in the first couple of minutes for that terrible tackle.
Yeah. Southampton, who are a good side.
I've
seen Southampton. We beat them 2-1. We were hanging on. Bournemouth, again, hot and cold side.
Hot and cold side. Well, South Coast derby.
What
I
do you
like
think?
Southampton,
Yeah.
Fancy them strongly.
They got some good players.
Yeah,
They pass the
Gabbiadini
ball
up front.
quickly.
No, they're a good team.
That bald guy in the midfield, he's very good on the ball. Romelu, he's a very good player.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're going to go Southampton.
Yeah.
Swansea versus Middlesbrough, another death struggle.
Just can't have Middlesbrough. I know they played wellish against Man United, but we were terrible and still won.
Yeah.
I think Swansea, this is a big game. Second bottom place, fourth bottom. I like Swansea
win,
here.
they can get themselves a bit of
they've got
space.
Loriente, they've got players.
Good striker, that guy.
Sigurdsson. And at home, they've won their last 3 at home, Paul.
Will that striker be bought by anybody?
Well, it depends. It has to be.
Has to be. He's too good. He's a quality
He's not
striker.
a Swansea player, Paul.
Yeah, he's a quality striker. Okay, so they lost 6 at home. They won 3 and lost 3. So I think Swansea will start favourite.
I fancy Swansea.
What are the betting? Even money plays 3-1 basically. Arsenal, Man City. Now Arsenal back at the Emirates.
I don't know, Paul. We was chatting about it earlier. Arsenal remind me of a team a company that's been taken over.
Yes.
Everyone doesn't know whether they're going to be re-employed. Everyone's trying, but it's an individual effort. It's not a collective effort.
Yeah.
There's rumours Sanchez going to Chelsea. Imagine being in that change room. What's going on? Wenger hasn't commented what he's doing.
The story is that he will help them find the correct successor.
In 2 years' time.
Yeah, if he gets 2 more years.
How can that be?
Yeah.
Now you're sitting in the change room, Paul. And there's just no leader. When he took over, he got lucky. He had Tony Adams, and he had a great team. As it's gone along in his career, they haven't got a Tony Adams. They haven't got a Vieira. They've got no leader.
Yeah.
When you're under pressure, who's going to step up?
Well, Ozil is committed to stay. He's committed to stay. He said in Germany that he wants to stay at Arsenal. He's enjoying his football at Arsenal, and he's going to promise to run back and tackle.
Oh, jeez, I can't have him.
Quality, luxury.
Luxury,
okay. Man City. Now, their last 7 league matches, they won 4 and drawn 3.
They've come right, Paul.
Eh?
I think they'll win this game,
Do you think so?
Yeah. I just can't have Arsenal.
Sunday, 5 o'clock?
Yeah, big game. Just depends. Kevin De Bruyne, he never played for Belgium. He comes back.
Neither did Hazard. How did they drew, eh?
Yeah, they drew 3-3 in Russia.
Budge, the clocks have gone back. People
Thankfully,
don't know. This is 5 o'clock, not a 6 o'clock kickoff. So bear that in mind. It's only 1 hour now with the UK. So a great weekend's football.
No.
Some
Start
bottom
to
league
finish.
battles,
Yeah.
top teams trying to get into the top 2, if I can call it that. So it should be good football. Let's move on. Now we come to the punting side of it. We've got to thank Track and Ball for what they've given us and what they've done in the figures. And Budge, let's go into first Soccer 6. We're going to get the slide up in a moment. Soccer 6, here we go. Okay, Budge, read it to me.
Well,
what do you think?
the first one, I think the draw, Golden Arrows, we're allowed 2 fields. So I've gone the field Golden Arrows, Highlands Park. I just think this could be Pirates' weekend. I don't see them getting beat. So I've gone Pirates in the draw against Free State Stars. Likewise, I've gone Sundowns in the draw against Chiefs. I've gone the field with Maritzburg, AX Cape Town, and Bankhead Supersport and Bidvest.
215.
216, yeah.
Okay, let's look at the second Soccer 6, also 216.
Yeah, I know you won't like the first, but I've thrown the draw in with Tottenham and against Burnley. I've gone the field Hull City, West Ham, likewise Leicester, Stoke City.
Yeah, those are
you got a bank at Chelsea.
Yeah.
I've thrown the draw in looking for the upset with Watford and Sunderland. If you'd banked Tottenham and did something else, I wouldn't blame you. But, I've gone the win and draw Watford, and I think Southampton will be too good for Bournemouth.
Bournemouth. Okay, let's move on to 10. This is where it gets interesting now.
Yeah, well, I banked Chelsea. I had to find 4 bankers, so I banked Chelsea. Now, Aston Villa have come right under Steve Bruce. They've won 5 and drawn and lost 1 of the last 6. Norwich are one of those Jekyll and Hyde teams. They've got plenty of players, but away from home they've been shocking. So I've gone Villa in the draw there. I've banked Tottenham, which will keep you happy to beat Burnley. I've gone the field with Hull City and West Ham. Likewise, Leicester and Stoke City.
Okay, the other page now.
The other page, well, I banked Man United.
Yeah, they should win.
I've gone Watford in the draw against Sunderland. Ipswich have drawn 7 of the last 9 games against Gianfranco Zola's Birmingham City. I've gone Ipswich win and draw.
Has Birmingham picked up a bit?
No.
Yeah, still
They've
struggling.
had 1 or 2 results. I think they've won 2 of the 13 games since he's been there. So away from home, I think a draw will be a big player, but Ipswich are the 2 teams. I've gone the field, 5th place, 4th. Reading are going well at home, but so are Leeds United.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3 there, and I've banked Southampton to beat Bournemouth.
Okay, that's a Soccer 10, 432 Rand. Okay, now the big one, Budge.
Yep, well, it's gone to R1.60 a line now. From R1.70, it's come down 10 cents a line, which is...
Why is that?
Well, the Rand must have strengthened.
Oh, well, we've got...
It'll go back next week.
It'll go back next week after what we've seen on the political front.
But I've gone win and draw. I had to find 5 bankers, so back to... I've gone win and draw Burnley with... Tottenham over Burnley. I've banked Chelsea to beat Crystal Palace. I've given West Ham the nod at Hull, win and draw. I've gone Leicester, win and draw against Stoke. Banker Man United, going to win and draw Watford over Sunderland. Likewise, Aston Villa over Norwich. Second page, I've gone Brentford, fairly strong at home, win and draw against Bristol City. I've bankered Brighton, the second top over Blackburn. Yeah, big game for them. Blackburn unbeaten in the last 6, but I fancy Brighton. Ipswich win and draw over Birmingham. Then I've banked Newcastle to beat Wigan. If they can't win, Wigan are second bottom. They're struggling. They fired their manager the other day. I think Preston will be too good for Nottingham Forest, and I've gone Cardiff win draw over Wolves, $410.
Soccer 13. There was a slide we didn't show you earlier. We're going to pull it up. The PSL. Let's have a quick look at this.
Yeah, the draw's a big player in the first game, Paul, 22-10. I just can't have either team. Gordon will sit tight, look for a point. Golden Arrows can't afford to get beat. 4-10 Supersport looks a bet you put in all your trebles. I'm surprised Bidvest Vits are 7-10. I think that's quite a big price at home, especially with their strong home form. The Pirates game, I don't know what the winner...
You like the Pirates, eh?
Yeah, I just think, it's playing in... They have come right against Chiefs. I thought they were the better team. The new coach has come in, KJL, John and Fred. They look a lot better. It won't be easy.
They're one of the great clubs in this football league, But the balance has changed because of money. Just talking about the league.
Sundowns spend more money than anybody else.
You give money now, you can compete.
Well,
you can get
Blackburn did it under Kenny Dalglish.
That's
right. Jack Walker, they won the league. They bought Shearer players. Chelsea.
Man City.
Oh, correct.
They
got Man United over the years. The top years ago.
Yeah.
6 of the top 10 purchases were from United.
Yeah. So you only get the top. Boom.
Yeah.
You've got to do it. Let's have a look at the next page, Budge.
Yeah, the second page is...
you like the 17-10
Yeah, I
Sundowns?
like Sundowns.
What time? Saturday, 8:15?
Yeah, should be a big
good
crowd
time.
there.
Good time. Put your paws up next to your beer.
Maritzburg's likewise, same time. I think 22-10, the draw is a big player.
Yeah.
Polokwane, Bloemfontein, Celtic. Polokwane are open gates, but... I just don't know. Bloemfontein, both teams can't score. They've drawn the last 7, Polokwane.
Go for the draw.
And then 5-10, Cape Town City. I think it's best bet of the weekend, yeah.
Okay, now the best part of the show for me, Budge, is your
Yep.
best bets. You do your homework internationally.
Yep.
I've got them in front of me. Let's show the public.
Yeah.
Tell us about this first bet.
Well, I think Swansea will be too good for Middlesbrough, Paul.
I'm
I like
to
Man
agree.
City to beat Arsenal, and I think Huddersfield to beat Burton Albion at home. I like Huddersfield at home. I think
Are
they're
they
good
still
things.
up near the
Yeah, they're
the
third.
qualifier?
They're
Still
like 6
okay.
points behind Brighton, but they've got a game in hand.
Okay,
So,
okay, Huddersfield there. Now, both teams to
Oh,
score.
that's the mark. I think Liverpool, Everton.
I agree
I'll
with
be
you.
surprised. Hull, West Ham.
I agree with you.
You know, Leicester, Stoke won't be easy,
But I agree.
And then I think Watford, Sunderland. Yeah.
Sunderland have let us down on these two teams to
I know,
score.
but
you know,
you know,
we've got to stick with them.
You know, Watford haven't kept one clean sheet in 18, I think it is. You know, they give Jermaine Defoe, and it's last chance saloon for Sunderland. So,
Yeah, they've got to start throwing them in.
You know, I just like of the four. I think the Leicester Stoke's a trick one, but
Yeah.
but you know, anyway, I just saw the price. That was a great price. 1,800 to 2, 9 to 1. Yeah.
Okay, let's have a look at
In
the
win
next
and
one.
draw 5, you know, I've gone West Ham win and draw against Hull City, Cardiff win and draw at Hull, Schalke Borussia Dortmund. It's a Ruhr derby. I like Schalke of the two teams. Hamburger are playing Cologne at home, so I've gone for Hamburg. And Juventus play Napoli. Which
Have
would
you
be
got a cousin who plays for Juventus? Because you always put them in our bets.
good team, man.
Good team.
Good team. You know, they were
Win
like
or
5.5
draw,
to
fiver.
10 at
Yeah.
Napoli. No, Napoli are a good team, but you know, I was looking for value, Paul. I
You
couldn't
don't
take
want to
1
get
to
caught in
5.
Napoli.
Yeah.
Okay,
So sport-
match bet and both teams
Well, I've
to
gone
score. Now
Southampton
explain
to
this to
beat-
the public.
Okay.
Someone's watching the show for the first time. Explain this to them,
So
Budge.
Southampton have to beat Bournemouth, and Preston have to beat Nottingham Forest, and then all 4 teams must score. So it's got to be 2-1, 3-1, 4-2, whatever. But Southampton and Preston have to win, and then
Okay.
Bournemouth and Notts Forest
a nice
have to
bet.
score. Yeah, I like this bet, Clive. You know, it's
Clive?
Paul. You know, so
Clive.
11 to 1.
Clive.
Clive, Bonnie and Clive. Yeah.
Bonnie and Clive. Okay, now the Spanish quartet, the
Yeah,
omelette.
you know, I've gone Real Sociedad to beat Leganes. I've gone Celta Vigo to beat my beloved Las Palmas, who are garbage away from home.
They're struggling now,
At
Los Palmas.
home, different
The
team.
flip-flop boys.
Flip-flop boys. And both teams to score. Osasuna versus Atletico Bilbao.
So, sorry, but just qualify. Both
Okay.
teams to score. Is that what's coming up next?
Yeah, that's the second part
Okay.
of the bet. Yeah.
Yes.
Osasuna, Atletico Bilbao, and Malaga, Atletico Madrid, both teams to score. So it worked out.
Okay,
to 11.5 to 1.
now this is for the Collis
Yeah,
Kings.
the
6
Collis,
or
6
next.
on Nexa. Yeah,
Collis
I've gone
Kings.
Huddersfield to beat Burton Albion. I've gone RB Leipzig, who are second in the Bundesliga, to beat bottom place Darmstadt. Marseille are fourth in the French League 1. I've got them to beat Dijon. Sevilla, if they can't get the act together against third bottom Sporting Gijon at home, I think they'll be too
All
strong.
these teams have to win.
All have to win, yeah. Chieva Verona, the Flying Donkeys, they playing Croton, who are second bottom, and AC Milan, who are away to Pescara. I've gone for them. So it's just over 10 to 1. So
That's a good odds.
Nice bet, yeah.
That looks good, Budge. So if I'm going to push you a little bit further
Yeah.
now, if you had a guy want to have a big bet on any team on the weekend, pop in a track and ball and lump 10 grand on a team to win, who would you put
I'd
it
say
on?
Huddersfield. In England, Huddersfield, yeah.
In England.
Yeah. You know, you go 3 to
And
10
okay,
Chelsea.
I'll make it even harder. In South Africa?
Cape Town City.
Okay. Well, there you go. Budge is the master. And you've got to get on these bets. And you can always go onto YouTube, go onto Gold Circle, go and have a look. And you can see everything that happens on onside. All Budgie's bets and the show as well. And I think you should go out there and have a look at these bets. They're very, very good. So until next time, make sure you're onside.